Working today, yeah, we're going to be talking through your questionnaire that you did. Anything I say is it's not going to go out of this room. Anything you want to talk about is absolutely fine. First, we'll start with your strengths that I gathered from your questionnaire. The clear strengths are your exercise, so you 10 hours of different sports. Doing different sports means that you have equal development of the entire body. I mean, when you're bowling, you continue working your arms and your body, and then you're playing football and you're working your lower body, more endurance sport. Moving on to cricket. Cricket is, as a sport, is really good socially. You spend a large amount of time in the team, talking, chatting, and it's really good socially. So it's really good to decrease stress and that sort of thing. Football is really good for improving fitness, like the cardiovascular system, which is good as it reduces the chance of getting ill. It's exercise improves the white blood cell activity, therefore reducing the days you have taken off work in college. This will help to reduce stress in exams and stuff like that. Your kind of like side strengths are kind of linked into the weaknesses later, or you smoke but they're not massive. You smoke four fags a day, which isn't too bad, but it can be improved. And you don't drink much. It's lower than the recommended. I think it's 14 units, or whatever it changes. The guidance, and therefore it's not one of your weaknesses, but it is one of your weaknesses, but it's also a strength. If I was to rank these, your clear strength, number one would be your exercise. You're exercising a lot, this is really good for you. Then would probably be smoking, as it really can make. I'm not smoking. Sorry, did the wrong thing. Exercise, and then probably go alcohol and then smoking, because you don't drink an awful amount. Your worst. Moving on to your weaknesses, your worst is probably your stress. This is clearly an area of your life that needs to be improved, because from your questionnaire, I think you gave it 4 or 5, which is very high on the scale. And it seems you've been relying on forms to de-stress you, like alcohol and smoking, which is kind of like a downward spiral. And I think in order to break the stress, we need to break that downward spiral, which is why I've related to alcohol and smoking being one of your weaknesses. Coming reliant on drinking or smoking can be dangerous. Dangerous as many people form bad habits from drinking every night. Do you drink every night or?
Not really at the moment, no.
Something I can recommend is having days off, just drinking, or you can just slowly reduce the amount of drinking. Another option is you can try to remove alcohol from your life completely, because alcohol can cause fatty liver, and your body having to remove all that ethanol from your body is not nice. So I don't know which one would suit you more, whether you could do something like, I think they do like a December or October free alcohol month, and you could try that and see if you can live your life without alcohol, or have set days throughout the week where you just let your liver rest and your body not drink alcohol. What would suit you?
I think kind of phasing out gradually for me. It's much easier to kind of get into.
Absolutely fine. It's just about breaking these habits and really getting away from the alcohol, because alcohol is a depressant, and therefore you may feel good when you first drink it, but when alcohol starts to wear off, your body then goes into this depressing state, and you start thinking about things negatively rather than positively. Moving on to smoking. Smoking increases the risk of many diseases, coordinated with the respiratory system. It's heavily linked with increased with cases of cancer. Although you smoke 4 cigarettes averagely a day, it's not seen much, but over the course of 10, 20 years, when did you start smoking?
About 16, 17.
If you start at 16, 4 cigarettes for another 20 years is just under 30,000 cigarettes, which is an awful lot if you think about it in that. And the tar build-up in this will prevent gaseous exchange, and also further increase the related cancers of your lungs, mouth, skin. And then assuming if you were 16, you're still smoking, you've been smoking for 44 years at that point, because you're nearly smoking 65,000 cigarettes in your lifetime, which is just going to completely have a negative effect on the quality of life. Things like your lungs, your mouth are all just going to deteriorate, the colour of your teeth, and it's not going to make you feel good about yourself, and further increase stress. You feel stressed about the way you look, which is what we don't want. We want to decrease it. Smoking will also have a negative impact on your sporting performance. which isn't in your interest. You compete at quite a high level for cricket and football, especially cricket. And although cricket isn't a massive endurance event, if you even slightly fatigue, it will reduce your decision making and your physical ability to perform. So you may go to throw a ball at the wicket and decide not to, and you've missed a chance to get that batsman out and you go on to lose the game. So it could massively affect. Obviously, with football, smoking has a massive effect on your respiratory system. So your VO2 max, which is the ability to inhale, transport and utilise oxygen, will decrease, which will then have a direct effect on your performance in football, because you can't work at that same intensity. And over the 90 minutes, you will decrease your performance, and you won't reach the extra level. So we want to reduce the amount of smoking to increase the level you play at, because I know you want to push the semi-professional performances at either football or cricket. And I think that reducing smoking will do this and take out that negative de-stressing technique. Moving on, plan of action of this is to slowly reduce the number of cigarettes you have in the day. We've got a couple of plans you can pick from. This may be hard, and it is going to be beneficial as all the bad effects of smoking slowly decreases. So over a set period of time, the tar will reduce, the increases of cancers, they will reduce back to normal over a period of time. It's all about just reducing the number of cigarettes, because as you said, 65,000 cigarettes when you turn 60 is a lot, and will increase the chance of cancer massively. Also, with the tar starting to leave and all the negative effects starting to reduce, this will then increase your VO2 max. So then negatives that had on your performance will now reverse, and this may be able to push you up to that semi-professional, get recognised and start earning money from this. And this will not improve the way you think about sport and your achievements, which will really motivate you to then push on further, but also improve the quality of your life, because semi-professional football you get paid a decent amount of money. Moving on, another technique you could use, so we've got the other phase out, a bit like the alcohol, or you can do months free of smoking, and there's many charities that do it and you can get involved with. I don't know which will suit you, whether you just take a month out, or you've also got the nicotine pad people wear. This helps deal with the addiction, but takes away the bad stuff. We can vape, no science-based that show that it's bad yet, but it's still quite new, so we don't know. I don't know what would suit you.
Yeah, I think fading out rather gradually, rather than just going straight no smoking would be better for me. But the vaping is an option I could use as well.
Okay, right, that's perfectly fine. We've also tried smoke-free days throughout the week. I mean, it's completely up to you how you want to face it out. We can talk about that. Addictions can be really hard to break. So we've looked deeper into your questionnaire, and I've looked more into your diet, looking at your performance, and again, it can really help you de-stress, and stress is clearly your main point winners. So looking at your diet, I think this can be proved to improve your quality of life, your performance, and to reduce the chance you slip into bad habits. I mean, the bad thing about diet is that when you try and move away from smoking and alcohol, eating can become a bad habit, and I don't want that to be the case, so I want to stop that from being the case. So it's important to eat the right nutrients, macro and micro, as it will improve the way you feel, and this is really important because obviously going back to you don't want to swap it, the bad diet, the bad habits. Eating the correct quantities of carbs and proteins and fats will really help you. So carbs like complex carbs, so brown rice, pasta and stuff like that, not white bread and sweets and stuff like that, will really improve your performance, as it's a slow release of energy. So when you're playing football, you'll be able to last, your intensity will be high, it supplies your body with energy. Fats is really important for cell membrane, reducing injury, and again for energy as you become more elite. Proteins is really good for recovery, so you'll be able to recover faster, you'll build up, so you'll feel stronger, and you'll perform better. Also, this reduces the chance of injury because you recover quicker, so there's less chance of you being injured and not being able to perform, which is obviously there's no performance there, you can't play. And then it's also, when you become injured, it then puts you into a negative state and you could slip back into bad habits. We're trying to reduce the chance of slipping back into this bad habit. Also by eating right, it can help you become a better athlete, because obviously you reach new heights, you'll be able to perform better and also become a better athlete. Going back to your college life and your normal life away from sport, eating healthily can give you more energy throughout the day. So looking at the bits you're stressed on, college and work and exam life is a massive factor for you. So you worry about not being able to finish your exam, not getting decent grade in your exams, not getting your assignments done on time, and as well as doing sport and downtime from that downtime. So by eating correctly, it gives you more energy. So when you get to points of the day, you think, like at the end of the day, you go, I need to do some work, I'm too tired. Eating correctly will help you give that boost, and there'll be more times than not where you go, I'm going to do that work. It gets you that positive thinking, and then that's more of an upward spiral than a downward spiral, because then you're going to have less stress because you're getting more work done, and you're not getting to the point where it's the hand in date and you have to rush your assignments. So not only will you feel less stressed about the assignments and the exams, you are achieving better grades, so it's going to affect you positively. In this, so talking about how you're going to improve your diet, there's a couple of things you do. So by the looks of it, you go out quite a lot, is that true?
Yeah.
And you don't have a lot of time to cook. So in order to improve your healthy diet, I have some tips, like from personally and from other people. So I was give time to learn to cook. So in this, I don't know what will suit you best. I mean, there's lots of videos, and the internet's a great place to learn if you want to do it on your own. There's books. I mean, just getting involved can help you learn to cook. I don't know, or you could go to classes. We could say with a nutritionist, you can go to cooking courses. I don't know which one will suit you.
Yeah, which one do you think would be the best for me?
I feel like cooking courses can, you can interact with people, and it becomes more of a social event. You can make new friends, and learning to cook new things that maybe you wouldn't cook if you weren't there. That'd be really benefit for you. But cooking at home is where you're going to learn, so you learn from where you're going to be. Seeing a nutritionist will allow you to really learn what's good for you and what isn't, so you're learning, becoming a better person than just an athlete. So I'd probably push towards the cooking and nutritional route, because the benefits are a lot larger, but I don't know if that would suit you.
I think that would be the best option for me,
It's just a negative side, then it takes up more time. To form new healthy habits with this, I think it would benefit you to learn to love to cook. So once you start learning, I think you just need to cook at home, because once you cook and make a nice meal for you or others, it's a sense of achievement, and it becomes almost like a new hobby, and it's a healthy hobby in that. You're quite busy in your timetable, so one thing to do is prepare meals, bulk cook so you can make your meals. Many of the main leaders in the fitness industry like to say prep like a boss, because it means that you pick a day and you prep for the rest of the week, plan what you're going to eat, buy all your food, and then you're ready. And this prevents the rush and the chance of getting back into bad habits. So you're out, you've got no lunch and you're starving, you've got to buy food. I mean, obviously that happens sometimes if you're not making the right healthy decisions, but to reduce the chance of that happening, you need to prep, and I think that'll benefit you. So you're not wasting time when you come on a Monday night and you're knackered and you have to make your food, because that's when you're going to slip back into bad habits. I think in order to do this, you've got two ways you can go about this. You could plan your meals daily, count your, put it into use apps like MyFitnessPal or MicroTracker. They both do similar things. So you count your intakes from what your nutritionist gives you. Or you could go down the other route and plan weekly, monthly. I think that both have benefits and negatives. I mean, the issue with the tracker per day is that you might get to the point where you want to eat this, but you haven't got that in your fridge or whatever. Or the benefit of planning your meals weekly is that you buy all your food in one hit for the week. You could buy healthy snacks around just in case you get hungry, but you know what you're eating, and you don't have the chance of slipping out, if you know what I mean. But the negative of that is you have no flexibility within the week, although you could change that. You could have a mixture of the two, or you could go either way. I don't know.
I think that planning the weekly would be best for me, because it would stop me from seeing that timetable. Well, I need to eat this then and then. Would stop me from eating the bad things, just picking randomly, and having that flexibility is almost a bad thing for me, I think.
Alright, that's perfect. Talking more about your diet, you can move on to water intake, as on your questionnaire it was very low. I think you're drinking 400, 500 millilitres a day. I mean, what you should be drinking is probably upwards of 3-4 litres. The average is about 2 to 4, because of the amount of sport you're doing, it should be higher. if I was looking at a performance basis, it will really decrease your performance because like after 2%, just being 2% dehydrated, it starts to have a decrease on performance. So what I want to do is kind of show you why dehydration isn't a good thing and why you should drink more water, and then see if we can implement something that can help you improve that. So dehydration really can reduce muscle function, concentration, and then if you lose concentration in the game, your decision making decreases, and again go back to that cricket explanation where you decide not to throw the ball and you miss out on the chance, or you make the wrong pass in football and you give the ball away and you go for a score. There's numerous examples, but therefore ultimately the performance reduces. So I've got some ways we go about this. You could buy a bottle, a 500 ml, 1 litre bottle, and you just keep it with you all the time, always filling it up and just drinking as much as you can. And that's just water. Also, I don't know if you like water or what, but another way is to drink milk. Milk is up there with one of the best fluids to drink to rehydrate you, and then drink water around that. Another one is to drink squash, ideally no added sugar. Again, there's some issues around squash, but to move on from drinking more, that's more important, and we'll get to that, and you can learn to like water. But I don't know what
I think the water bottle would be a good one. Spend that money getting a nice water bottle where it's going to hold enough water for me to fill up a few times a day. I know that I've got to drink that, and I've got to fill it up 2 more times a day. To get to the goal of what I need to drink would be the best one. I mean, drinking this will have massive benefits for your performance, and when it benefits you, you will see that improvement, and then you'll feel a sense of achievement. And then again, these factors could be all holding you back and pushing into that semi-professional level. Moving back to stress. When we are stressed, adrenaline and cortisol are the main hormones that are released, and these cause heart rate, breathing rate, and decrease digestion. It's not healthy to stay in this constant state as they're short-term hormones, and to keep secreting them over the long term has some pretty long-term bad effects. So hypertension, which is high blood pressure, which means you could be doing damage to your arteries and blood pressure where your blood pressure is too high. You get angina caused by the narrowing of the coronary artery. Stress makes this worse and can lead to heart attacks, which is just life-threatening disease, and stroke due to high blood pressure, and ulcers. Stress builds up ulcers in your stomach and your mouth. So these would further decrease your quality of life. It might be the factor that brings you all the way down, but then you then start to go back into bad habits. It's all about just reducing these chances. These recommendations. So the Department of Health in order to further reduce stress, I think that you should partake in exercise that isn't competition based. So I feel that you perform at such high levels that you're losing the enjoyment and the release of endorphins to give you that feel-good feeling. And the Department of Health recommends that you do 30 minutes of moderate exercise 5 days a week. Obviously, you are doing enough exercise to meet the Department of Health's regulations. But just so you know what it actually means, moderate exercise means to feel a little bit out of breath, a little bit warmer. Energy expenditure, so they say you should burn around 200 calories. But obviously for you that's irrelevant. What I want you to do is go out and play with your friends, kick about in the park, go play badminton, go to a gym with friends. Nothing to benefit your performance, but to really learn how to love sport again. So this isn't going to be one of your most important things to do, but because of how busy you are. So some weeks you might not be able to do it, some weeks you might be able to do it, and some you'll be able to do it more. Just doing it 1 to 3 times a week, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you can. Just release some endorphins and help to reduce stress so that you can think about things more clearly. The benefits of physical activity is it strengthens the bones, boosts the immune system, reduces anxiety and boosts energy levels, improves sleep. There's loads and loads you can talk about. Negatives of this is obviously you have got a very busy timetable, and maybe taking up more time by doing exercise to reduce stress, maybe make you feel more stressed because less time to your work. So it could be counterproductive, but I really feel that learning to love sport again, and then obviously reducing this as you learn to love, and then taking that back into other sports could really help your performance. Because it could re-motivate you to really love the sport and really want to put all your efforts into it. So just go and play badminton with a friend or anything like that. There are also physiological benefits of physical activity. Quite a lot of piece.
can make you feel better about yourself. Things like exercising really helps reduce depression, anxiety, and important things like related to exams and the stress of exams. So this will help you not become into a negative state of mind, and then ultimately this will improve your mood and make you feel better, not just in your exam life, but in your performance. So you're going to training not feeling stressed, your mind's not on the game. So if you go into a game, your mind's not on the game, you're going to miss out aspects of the game. Your performance could have been improved, and there's a missed opportunity to be spotted and move up and maybe get into the first team or whatever. Not feeling in this negative state of mind also helps stress, because when you think about things negatively, you just want to stop and just relax. I mean, if you have a positive state of mind, you go home after training, go, I'm just going to smash out 30 minutes of work, and then instantly you're in a better place. And then you're back on that upward spiral of there's less work to do on the deadline, improvements, you're not rushing your assignment, and improvement in grades. Also, the reduce of the stress will reduce the secretion of the hormones of cortisol and adrenaline, as I stated before, and their negative effects of, negative effects that they have, things like strokes and stuff like that. So you're going to have a better quality of life as you get older. So the benefits of your performance, as again you learn, teach you how to enjoy sport again. Finally, just to really go back and ways and techniques to manage your stress. You have 3 ways. You can either do meditation, mind to muscle reaction, and progressive muscle relax. Personally, I think you should try meditation, because I think you could use music and just sit there to meditate. You could do this before you go into sleep, so this would really help you relax and just feel less stressed before you sleep, because you go to sleep stressed, you're not going to sleep as well. So improve the quality of quality of sleep that you have, which will then reduce stress, because you wake up feeling less tired and lethargic, so you may feel more motivated to do work, and then more motivated to train better, and then improvements in your sporting life as well. If I was to rank these, I'd probably say stress is obviously up there as number 1. Your stress levels are extremely high. It becomes massive negative benefit, negative impacts on your life and your enjoyment of life. Also, there's risks of illness with this. So I'd say that's definitely number 1. Moving on to number 2, I'd say number 2 is definitely smoking. Although not smoking massive amounts, this could increase. And over years and years of just smoking 4 cigarettes a day really has a risk on your health and increasing the chance of getting cancers and stuff like that. And also has a massive effect on your performance. That could be what's hindering you from moving up and enjoying sport more and getting paid for it. So I think obviously reducing smoking is a massive thing, and I also think that's impacting your stress, because I think it becomes addictive. So it does become addictive, and I feel that it's becoming your de-stressor, which is a negative de-stressor. Thirdly, I think that it's your diet. Your diet doesn't consist of the correct macros and micronutrients, so you're eating a lot of high sugars, sugary foods like chocolates and stuff like this. And I think that this is helping you in your sport. I mean, in sport it's good to eat sugars, but there's a down phase where your energy levels drop drastically and you feel tired and you won't perform as well. This will impact your vision and coursework, because you get to the end of the day and you'll just feel tired and you just want to sleep. Which then you're missing out on time to revise and do work, and then ultimately you get down to that end point again, you're feeling stressed. So I think diet is really third and something that needs to be improved on. Lastly, I believe, and obviously the extra exercise, I mean, you're doing perfect, you're exercising, that's not your worry. But I feel that exercising can be implemented into this scheme when you are, when you have time, and summer holidays, half terms, when you have time, and just to really enjoy sport and really release them endorphins and start to enjoy it more. And then hopefully this will re-motivate you and could have massive benefits in your performance and in your education. But yeah, that's all I've got at the moment. Moving back to your stress and your techniques that we could use. Would you like to go down the meditation route, where you can meditate at night, or you could go to things like Pilates and exercises that are more stretching related and reduce stress. I mean, I don't know, that would benefit, going that way would benefit flexibility and therefore your performance, but not massive stress, whereas using meditation would really de-stress you. So I don't know which way you want to go.
Which one would suit me the best, do you think?
I think you could implement both on your life. I think mixing it up would be good, changing it up prevents you getting bored.
Yeah.
I mean, going to something like Pilates or something like that, where it's stretch-based, you know, it will improve your performance. It's something different, you meet new people.
Yeah.
Meditation would be really good because it improves your quality of sleep. So I think you could implement both. I mean, that's completely up to you,
Yeah.
which would prefer. Obviously the cost is more to go to classes, and you don't live relatively close to centres that offer it to you, so you'd have to travel distance.
Yeah.
But I think you could implement it.
Yeah, I think I should, just getting that range of different things that, it all impacts on each other, doesn't it? Like the Pilates would also help with my stress.
Yeah.
The stretching, reduce the tension, that kind of thing would be really helpful as well.
That's me done. Is there any got any questions?
That's it, thank you.
So it's nice to
Thank
see
you
you.
very
Any
much.
questions, just give me a ring.
Okay.
I can arrange them.
Thank you very much.